If you want to make backups, you will use tar. Tar stands for Tape Archiver. And the original purpose of the utility was to stream files to a tape. Think old-fashioned rewindable tape, where it was good to have all the files in one stream. It served as a backup. Nowadays you will use tar in many cases not to stream to tape, but just to create a backup file. To do that, there is a couple of options. The first option is C. C stands for create. I also like V, which is verbose. That is going to show you what the utility is doing. And after that you need F. F stands for file. And file is the name of the backup file you want to create. So let's do /root/etc.tar. To specify what you want to have in the backup, just mention the name of the directory that you want in there. And press enter and it will begin. Okay, that didn't take too long. Now if we do ls-l, we can see that there's an etc.tar file. By the way, the file has the extension .tar just because I included it when executing the tar command. If I wouldn't have done that, well, it wouldn't have any .tar extension. In fact, it's not really even an extension. I'm saying this because on some occasion you may get a tar archive which is not easy to be recognized as a tar archive. If that's the case, use the file utility. File on the file in question, in this case etc.tar, and it's telling you it's a POSIX tar archive. What you can also see is that the file is quite big. So let's start again, and now I'm going to compress it as well. To do that I'm using CZ VF followed by the name of the archive I want to create. So that would be root etc2.tgz. TGZ is also a convention that makes it easier for people to recognize that this is a compressed file. And next we also need to include the name of the directory we want to compress and archive. I'm removing V, by the way, because I don't want it to be verbose. I just want it to do its job. Now if you do an ls-l again, you can see that there's quite a difference between the non-compressed file and the compressed file. Now if ever you get access to a tar, you probably want to extract it. Now before you extract it, it's a good idea to have an impression of what's inside. To do that you can use tar t, tvf as well, followed by the name of the file. Oh, and by the way, in older versions of tar you needed to include a Z because it was a compressed file. But in recent versions of tar it will recognize automatically that it's a compressed file. So you don't have to include a Z if you want to do anything on it. So what we can see here is the contents of the tar archive. What you may notice is that the directory names are mentioned as relative directory names. That is, the slash in front of the directory name is removed. And that is somehow convenient because it allows you to extract the archive to another directory. So if you want to extract the archive, you can do that with tar as well. The command would be tar x for extract vf. Hey, do you notice by the way that I'm always using the same order? That is because ordering in tar is important. So the first position of the options is what you want to do. So that is a C for create, or a T for show me what's inside, or an X for extract. And next you do a V if you like to for verbose, and then you do an F followed by the name of the archive. And then a very useful option is dash uppercase C. Dash C tells the tar command to switch to a specific directory. If you don't use dash C, it will take the current directory, and that might not be what you want to do. So let's do dash C tmp for example. which means that the archive will be created in the TMP directory. So if you go to the TMP directory and we have a look there, we can see that there's an etc subdirectory, and the etc subdirectory contains everything from the original etc directory. So from there you can analyze what's inside and make sure that before copying it over to the etc directory that it really is good. Now something else that might be useful, if we go to the etc directory and let me remove something not too important like wgetrc. I'm doing an rm wgetrc. Yes, I want to remove it. Now imagine that this happens to an important configuration file and you do have a backup of that file. What you can do in that case is tar xvf of /root/etc.tar and then -c in slash. I want it to be extracted in slash, and I'm going to specify the specific name of the file I want to extract, and that would be etc wgetrc. Do notice, by the way, that I'm using relative file name as well, because in the tar archive we also have a relative file name. So it's back. And that is how you can use tar. It's a very important utility, and even if it's an old utility, it is still the standard utility to create backups on Linux.